I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them. Donald Trump is uniquely unqualified to be president. He is temperamentally unfit to be commander-in-chief. Listen, if you want to keep our military the greatest fighting force that the world has ever known, if you want America to stay strong and respected, then we can't have a commander-in-chief who suggests that it's okay to torture people, that suggests that we should ban entire religions from our country. We can't afford a commander-in-chief who insults POWs or attacks. No, wait. Hold up. Hey, hold up. Where it's okay. Hey, hold up. Hold up. Hey, listen. Hey. Listen up. Hey, everybody. Hey, listen up. Hey, I told you to be focused, and you're not focused right now. Listen to what I'm saying. Hold up. Everybody sit down and be quiet for a second. Now listen up. I'm serious. Listen up. You've got an older gentleman who is supporting his candidate. He's not doing nothing. You don't have to worry about him. You should. This is what I mean about folks not being focused. First of all, hold up. First of all, we live in a country that respects free speech. So, second of all, it looks like maybe he might have served in our military, and we got to respect that. Third of all, he was elderly, and we got to respect our elders. And fourth of all, don't boo. Oh! Don't boo. Oh! Come on. Now, I want you to pay attention. Because if we lose focus, we could have problems. This is part of what's happened here during this election season. We just get stirred up for all kinds of reasons that are unnecessary. Just relax.
Our top story this morning, Donald Trump campaigns in New Hampshire, Maine, and New Jersey with new problems chasing him on the campaign trail.
Two more women have come forward accusing the Republican presidential nominee of unwanted sexual advances made years ago. Trump maintains his innocence and has lobbed insults at his accusers, including attacks on their beauty. Errol Barnett is in our Washington bureau. Errol, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it's been more than a week now since Donald Trump's crude comments to Access Hollywood from 2005 went public, triggering a series of unfortunate events for the candidate. Since then, several women have come forward accusing the Republican nominee of sexual assault, while he continues to aggressively deny the charges.
By the way, these teleprompters haven't been working for the last 20 minutes.
At a late-night rally in North Carolina, an unshackled Donald Trump physically removed his teleprompters from the stage, looking past the latest in a slew of assault allegations against him.
I love those signs, women for Trump. Because I actually think I'm doing well with women. In just about all cases, it's nonsense, it's false.
But earlier in the day Friday, Donald Trump mocked the growing list of women who've accused him of unwanted sexual advances.
Say, oh, I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane. She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Even disparaging his female opponent, referencing when they crossed paths at the last debate.
And when she walked in front of me, believe me, I wasn't impressed.
As Trump spoke, 2 more women went public with claims of their own, bringing the total number of alleged victims to 6.
This is the vivid part for me.
One described an incident at a nightclub in New York.
He did touch my vagina through my underwear.
And the other, a former contestant on The Apprentice, described an experience in Los Angeles.
I pushed his chest to put space between us, and I said, "Come on, man, get real." He repeated my words back to me, "Get real," as he began thrusting his genitals.
Trump put out a statement denying ever meeting Summer Zervos at a hotel or greeting her inappropriately a decade ago.
Donald Trump has asserted that all of these recent unsubstantiated allegations are categorically false, and I do believe it.
Running mate Mike Pence told CBS this morning that Trump would have proof he's being falsely accused.
I think even before the day is out, there'll be more evidence publicly that shows and calls into question these latest allegations.
Now, when CBS News asked the Trump campaign to provide said evidence, Trump spokeswoman Hope Hicks said by phone, quote, "I didn't say that. Governor Pence did. I will let you know when we have more information. We have not yet been provided an update." Margaret?
Errol Barnett, thank you.
He's not a groper. It's not who he is. And I've known my father, obviously, my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
With the details that they go, did they ever check the background of these women? They don't have any facts. I believe my husband. I believe my husband. This was all organized from the opposition. And with the details that they go, did they ever check the background of these women? They don't have any facts. She said that my husband took her to the room and started kissing her. She wrote in the same story about me that she saw me on Fifth Avenue, and I said to her, "Natasha, how can we don't see you anymore?" I was never friend with her. I would not recognize her.
That never happened?
Never happened. That's why I sent them the letter, because it discredited the story.
Right, your lawyer has sent a letter to People magazine saying they have to retract.
Yes, because it was not true.
You better believe that I hate the people that took this girl and raped her brutally. You better believe it. And it's more than anger, it's hatred. And I want society to hate them.
In New York City in the late 80s and early 90s, the case of the Central Park jogger was notorious. In April of 1989, a white woman who had been jogging was found brutally raped and beaten nearly to death in Central Park. Not long after the woman was discovered, 4 black teenagers, 1 Latino teenager were charged and jailed for the crime. The gruesome case whipped up an unbelievable hysteria throughout the city, the media ginning up fears with headlines about wolf packs and roving gangs and wilding. But the 5 boys, ages 14 to 16, had falsely confessed to the crime after hours of police interrogations. They were later tried, convicted, and sentenced to prison. But vindication for the group, known as the Central Park Five, came in 2002, when a convicted murderer and rapist confessed to the crime. And that confession was then corroborated by DNA. The prison sentences of the Central Park Five were overturned, but by that time they had already served between 5 and 13 years. In 2014, the men were awarded a $40 million settlement from New York City. The story that had gripped the city for years came to a close, and yet one Manhattan resident's obsession with the case continues to this day. Just weeks after the crime was committed in 1989, Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in 4 New York newspapers advocating the return of the death penalty. And when the city awarded the men a settlement in 2014, Trump wrote an editorial in the Daily News calling the settlement a disgrace. And now, even now, as the presidential nominee for the Republican Party, Trump hasn't allowed science or evidence to change his initial reaction to the case. Just this week, Trump said he still considers the men, again, exonerated by the criminal justice system and by DNA scientific evidence, guilty, issuing a statement saying, quote, they admitted they were guilty. The police doing the original investigation say they were guilty. The fact that case was settled with so much evidence against them is outrageous. The woman so badly injured will never be the same.
We are back with David Hundo P. Plouffe, the man who says Hillary Clinton has a 100% chance of winning. So that means that no scenario that we could lay out to get Donald Trump to 270 electoral votes.
Barack Obama is the Nickelback of presidents. Obama couldn't negotiate getting a Whopper without pickles at Woodstock Dave. Thanks, Dave. I bet Obama likes mustard on his hot dogs because he's gross at Duck Punks. Just found out my daughter shares a birthday with Obama. Puke in caps at Mom of 4 Munchkins. Barack Obama dances like how his jeans look. You know, this jeans thing, this is so old. This was years ago, come on. My mom bought new conditioner and it sucks. It isn't even conditioning my hair. I blame Obama. Barack Obama. Bro, do you even lift? Well, I lifted the ban on Cuban cigars. That's worth something. Barack Obama is the Sharknado of presidents. Loud, stupid, and overhyped. Hashtag Sharknado4. President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Hillary Clinton was taking the weekend to prepare for the final debate this Wednesday, but as she stepped out of the spotlight, WikiLeaks released another batch of emails thought to be from Clinton's top aides. ABC's Cecilia Vega joins us now with all those details for us. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. The Clinton campaign calls this a crime reminiscent of Watergate, but worse. More than 1,900 emails released just this weekend. We are talking about a slow leak every day, a new batch. And the Clinton campaign knows this could be a problem for them every day until Election Day. This morning, thousands more emails appearing to show the inner workings of Hillary Clinton's campaign. WikiLeaks releasing the newest batch of what are believed to be campaign chairman John Podesta's hacked emails. One showing just how much Clinton's team struggled to get her to apologize over that private server controversy. A top advisor writing, her inability to just do a national interview and communicate genuine feelings of remorse and regret is now, I fear, becoming a character problem, more so than honesty. I see no downside in her actually just saying, look, I'm sorry. I think it will take so much air out of this. Podesta agreeing, saying, trying to figure out how to get her there and best way to execute. Ultimately, Clinton did apologize.
As I look back at it now, even though it was allowed, I should have used 2 accounts, one for personal, one for work-related emails. That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility.
ABC News has not independently verified the emails. The Clinton campaign not responding to individual documents, instead accusing the Russians of orchestrating the hack to help Donald Trump win.
I don't give credence to any of these dumped documents because I don't even know if they're accurate.
A slow drip that has not let up. 12,000 emails so far. Everything from when Clinton should laugh during debates, woo, okay, to her private speeches to Wall Street that seem to contradict her public positions. Even this one, claiming Clinton told a private trade union gathering that extreme environmentalists need to, quote, get a life. And Donald Trump has questioned whether the Russians are behind the hacks. He's even questioned whether there was a hack at all. But his running mate, Mike Pence, seemed to take a different stand this weekend, saying there's no question, George, that evidence suggests Russia's involvement.
Yeah, that is the judgment of our intelligence community. Thank you, Cecilia.
Jim, what are we looking at right now? What are you saying?
Yeah. Yes, Aaron, I am off camera right now because I want to show you this. We've turned the camera around, panning around to the back of the arena. This is becoming violent. There is pushing and shoving going on inside this arena. People are throwing objects. Police are now escorting some protesters. We don't know if they're Trump supporters or protesters being led out of this arena right now. But just moments ago, a very large crowd of supporters, protesters, media, it was simply rocking back and forth. As my camera just panned back over, you could see this large section of protesters I was referring to earlier. They're now shouting, "Bernie, Bernie," obviously in support of Bernie Sanders. Aaron, I've just never seen anything like this. This place has just erupted. Now you're hearing Donald Trump people on the other side of the arena yelling, "Trump, Trump, Trump." The security does not have a handle on the situation here. It is total chaos.
Is aware of all the work that you guys do, I hope.
The campaign is fully in it.
And then they tell Hillary what's going on.
Well, I mean, Hillary knows through the chain of command.
In the lines at Trump rallies? We're starting anarchy here.
This is part one of our undercover investigation into the dark, backroom dealings of the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign. Fovel and his people trained the agitators to go to Trump rallies, and nothing is left to chance.
There's a script.
Oh, there is a script.
There's a script.
Okay.
There's a script of engagement. Sometimes the crazies bite, and sometimes the crazies don't bite.
Two Democratic operatives, Robert Creamer and Scott Fovel, were caught on tape talking about instigating violence at a Trump rally in Fovel's case. The last time we spoke, you said any violence is unacceptable. Have you looked into whether or not Democratic operatives paid by the Democratic National Committee were actually instigating these horrific actions, these violent actions we saw at Trump rallies? I mean, I'm sure you would agree. If that's true, that's really offensive.
Well, violence is unacceptable. These individuals no longer have a relationship with the DNC. They've never had a relationship with the Clinton campaign.
Next segment is fitness to be president of the United States. Mr. Trump, at the last debate, you said your talk about grabbing women was just that, talk, and that you'd never actually done it. And since then, as we all know, 9 women have come forward and said that you either groped them or kissed them without their consent. Why would so many different women from so many different circumstances over so many different years, why would they all in this last couple of weeks make up, you deny this, why would they all make up these stories? And since this is a question for both of you, Secretary Clinton, Mr. Trump says what your husband did and that you defended was even worse. Mr. Trump, you go first.
Well, first of all, those stories have been largely debunked. Those people, I don't know those people. I have a feeling how they came. I believe it was her campaign that did it. Just like if you look at what came out today on the clips, where I was wondering what happened with my rally in Chicago and other rallies where we had such violence. She's the one in Obama that caused the violence. They hired people, they paid them $1,500, and they're on tape saying, be violent, cause fights, do bad things. I would say the only way, because those stories are all totally false, I have to say that. And I didn't even apologize to my wife, who's sitting right here, because I didn't do anything. I didn't know any of these women. I didn't see these women. These women, the woman on the plane, the woman, I think they want either fame or her campaign did it. And I think it's her campaign because when I saw what they did, which is a criminal act, by the way, where they're telling people to go out and start fistfights and start violence. And I'll tell you what, in particular in Chicago, people were hurt and people could have been killed in that riot. And that was now all on tape, started by her. I believe, Chris, that she got these people to step forward. If it wasn't, they get their 10 minutes of fame. But they were all totally, it was all fiction. It was lies and it was fiction.
Well, Secretary Clinton.
At the last debate, we heard Donald talking about what he did to women. And after that, a number of women have come forward saying that's exactly what he did to them. Now, what was his response? Well, he held a number of big rallies where he said that he could not possibly have done those things to those women because they were not attractive enough for
I did not
them
say
to be
that.
assaulted.
I did not say that.
In fact, he went on to say...
Her 2 minutes, sir, her 2 minutes.
But did not say that.
It's her 2 minutes.
He went on to say, look at her. I don't think so. About another woman, he said, that wouldn't be my first choice.
She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
He attacked the woman reporter writing the story, called her disgusting, as he has called a number of women during this campaign. You know, Donald thinks belittling women makes him bigger. He goes after their dignity, their self-worth, and I don't think there is a woman anywhere who doesn't know what that feels like. So we now know what Donald thinks and what he says and how he acts toward women. That's who Donald is. I think it's really up to all of us to demonstrate who we are and who our country is, and to stand up and be very clear about what we expect from our next president, how we want to bring our country together, where we don't want to have the kind of pitting of people one against the other, where instead we celebrate our diversity, we lift people up, and we make our country even greater. America is great because America is good. And it really is up to all of us to make that true now and in the future, and particularly for our children and our grandchildren.
Mr. Trump.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody. Nobody has more respect.
Please, everybody.
And frankly, those stories have been largely debunked. And I really want to just talk about something slightly different. She mentions this, which is all fiction, all fictionalized, probably or possibly started by her and her very sleazy campaign. But I will tell you, what isn't fictionalized are her emails, where she destroyed 33,000 emails criminally, after getting a subpoena from the United States Congress. What happened to the FBI? I don't know. We have a great general, 4-star general, today, you read it in all the papers, going to potentially serve 5 years in jail for lying to the FBI. One lie. She's lied hundreds of times to the people, to Congress, and to the FBI. He's going to probably go to jail. This is a 4-star general, and she gets away with it, and she can run for the presidency of the United States. That's really what you should be talking about, not fiction, where somebody wants fame or where they come out of her crooked campaign.
Secretary Clinton.
Well, every time Donald is pushed on something which is obviously uncomfortable, like what these women are saying, he immediately goes to denying responsibility. And it's not just about women. He never apologizes or says he's sorry for anything.
I'm not proud of it. I apologize to my family. I apologize to the American people.
So we know what he has said and what he's done to women. But he also went after a disabled reporter, mocked and mimicked him on national television.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
He went after Mr. and Mrs. Khan the parents of a young man who died serving our country, a Gold Star family, because of their religion. He went after John McCain, a prisoner of war, said he prefers people who aren't captured.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
He went after a federal judge, born in Indiana, but who Donald said couldn't be trusted to try the fraud and racketeering case against Trump University because his parents were Mexican. So it's not one thing. This is a pattern of divisiveness, of a very dark and in many ways dangerous vision of our country, where he incites violence, where he applauds people who are pushing and pulling and punching at his rallies. That is not who America is. And I hope that as we move in the last weeks of this campaign, more and more people will understand what's at stake in this election. It really does come down to what kind of country we are going to have.
So sad when she talks about violence at my rallies, and she caused the violence. It's on tape. The other things are false, but honestly, I'd love to talk about getting rid of ISIS, and I'd love to talk about other things.
Okay.
But those other charges, as she knows, are false.
Hillary is so corrupt. She got kicked off the Watergate Commission. How corrupt do you have to be to get kicked off the Watergate Commission? Pretty corrupt.